Well, hello again everybody. It's a Friday and I'm at work. I brought the van into work because I'm off as soon as I can get away to Wales for the Caving Club barbecue. Now, unfortunately, Nikki isn't coming with me. She's got some things to do at home, so it's just a solo trip, and I believe I'll be off grid for the whole weekend. So, be interesting to see how we get on with that. Right, well that's work done for the day. Time to hit the road. It's going to be quite late, I think, by the time I get to South Wales, because it's coming up for 5 o'clock now and there's a long way to go. Well, I'm a few miles up the road and I've stopped for a bit of a cup of tea and a bite to eat. It's actually one of these little pre-prepared packs of sushi that I got from the garage. A little bit extravagant, but hey, I'm on holiday. Well, what a journey that was. It's about 11 o'clock now. I'm going to grab myself a beer, maybe have a walk over to the cottage and say hello, but I don't think I'll be there long because I'm pretty tuckered out. Well, morning folks, it's Saturday morning. It's about 8:30, I think. I slept in quite late for me. Really quite tired last night. Lot going on at the moment in life, work and stuff, which yeah, it's nice to get away from and not have to rush to get on with anything in particular. I think it's going to be quite nice to sit here for a while, drink me tea and take in the view. It is looking a little bit misty out there. I've also got a pretty nice view out of the back window of the bedroom. Well folks, I am finally up and about and had my shower and everything. Weather's taken a little bit of a turn for the worst. Absolutely chucking it down with rain out there now. So gonna have myself some breakfast and then decide what to do. But for the moment it's actually quite nice being nice and cosy inside the van. It is turning into quite a slow start this morning. Well, I really am having something of a lazy morning. I'm about my third mug of tea. I've just been sitting here chilling out really, but the sun has come out now, so it is about time that we got our act together and did something. Now, as you can see, I have brought the Ttxela Engine X with me. It's on the bike carrier here, and I've got the charger and the battery in the garage of the motorhome. Unfortunately, what I haven't brought with me is the key to turn it all on. So yeah, my plans to give the Ttxela Engine X a good old test up here in Wales have really been put back a step, because without that key I can't run the electric side of it at all, and it's a bit of a heavy old thing just to pedal on its own. So I think I'm going to have to find something else to do. Now I do have all my caving kit with me, so I could pop over to the cottage and see what trips folk have got planned, but actually I'm feeling like continuing the rather lazy theme for the day and just ambling about a little bit. So I don't fancy trying to keep up with other folk on a trip, so I might just have a bit of a surface wander and see what I can spot. Now, one thing I've been trying to do recently is to try and improve my knowledge on sort of plants and wildflowers and such. And one thing I've learned is that this is Herb Robert, otherwise known as Death Come Quickly, because folk used to believe that if you brought some into the house, then a death would soon follow. Not sure how true that is. You can see the red colour in it. It was used in the past for different red dyes. And this is bird's foot trefoil, also known as eggs and bacon or tom thumb. And yes, another wild herb. Maybe you all knew that already, but I didn't. I'm starting to find all this stuff quite fascinating. And down in the old brickworks here, there's loads of these little tiny wild strawberries. They're actually really tasty. I've also found some bilberries or wild blueberries. Again, absolutely lovely, but a different taste really to the sort of blueberries you buy in the supermarket. Again, people used to gather up the bilberries and use them for dye making as well in the past. And these little yellow flowers are known as Ttxela erecta, believe it or not, or otherwise known as the common tortontille. And this carpet of little white flowers here that look a bit like daisies are actually eyebright, and that is another herb that has been used to treat all sorts of eye problems, including hay fever. Now, if you're wondering where I'm getting all this newfound plant knowledge, don't be too impressed, because I'm simply getting it from Google Lens, and I'm finding that a great way to identify this sort of thing. Much better, in fact, than all the sort of proprietary apps and things, plant identification apps that you can get, which always seem to go a little bit flaky when you actually need them. Ttxela, or the cross-leaved heath. Basically a type of heather. Well, I'll tell you what, I am rather enjoying this, just bimbling about identifying different types of plant. Perhaps I'm getting old, I don't know. I'm not sure I'd have enjoyed this a decade or so ago, but yeah, interesting stuff, I think. Some more wild bilberries. Wow. I might go and live in a cave and survive off nuts and berries. Well, there's quite a patch of cotton grass here. Seems to like growing in these boggy quarry bottoms, but I don't think there's quite enough to make me a shirt. tell you what, it's hard old work walking through this big tussocky grass. So I think I might drop down, walk along the railway track for a bit, see what I can find down there. Trackside here we've got some St John's wort, which is also said to have some medicinal properties. Oh, there we go, back at the van, and time for some very welcome lunch. Didn't really cover a vast deal of distance on that walk, but there was a lot of clambering around and a lot of sort of furtling about in the undergrowth looking for things. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Nice to pick up a little bit of knowledge hopefully as well. So yeah, I'll enjoy my lunch, chill out for a bit now. Well, I think this is probably about the first time that I've ever tried something approaching what's known as motorhome wild camping. I know it's not really wild camping, sort of off-grid, away from a campsite type camping. I've camped over at the Welsh cottage before, but that's almost really like being on a campsite. This is just a car park really by a quarry, or an old disused quarry. And I thought I'd update you how I'm getting on with the wild camping. And yeah, it's a bit weird really. I've had a bit of an incident. So anyway, there's a few cars in this car park now. It does tend to be used by people coming up to have a bit of a walk and stuff in the area. Car pulls up, estate car, and out of it comes what's obviously mum, dad and a little youngster. Unfold a pushchair, put the youngster in, and Granny. And Granny walks over to my van. I'm in here with my cup of tea. Looks straight in at me. So give her a little wave of acknowledgement, hello, sort of thing. And she walks right past the window, very close to the van. Past this window she goes. Hello, Granny. And she heads around the back of the van. Now, the van's backed up to a fence behind which is the quarry itself. And I don't see her come out the other side of the van. So naturally, I'm thinking to myself, what's she doing behind my van? And then I feel a little bit of a rocking motion on the van. And I'm remembering I've got my bike, the Engway Engine X, on the bike rack behind. So my first thought is she's fiddling around, mucking around with my bike on the bike rack at the back. So I go and peer and have a look through the back window. Now bear in mind, there's not much space between my bike and the fence there. And what I see is Granny's holding on to the bike rack, to the bike on the bike rack, using it for support. And she's got her trousers round her ankles and she's having a wee behind my van. Now I'm a bit surprised and taken aback by this, and I did the first thing that came in my head. I just rapped on the window and said, "Oi, I'm making a YouTube video." And Yeah, she just pulled her trousers up, shouted something at me in Spanish through the window, and off she went. So I don't know really, is this the sort of thing that you normally expect when you're wild camping? Have you had this happen to you, or do you think I was right to be slightly sort of put out by this? Let me know in the comments what you think. In other wild camping news, the solar panel appears to be doing its thing. I've got, looks like 3 watts coming in. That doesn't seem very much, but I don't know. It's only a smallish solar panel. And after a night of camping, the leisure battery still seems pretty healthy. I've had a shower and obviously lights on and stuff like that. Anyhow, I reckon it's now about time to wander over and see what's happening with the barbecue. Well, I'm very pleased to be back at the Welsh cottage for the barbecue. I've missed a few events here recently due to being busy with other things, and it's absolutely lovely to be back and catch up with some old friends and meet some new ones as well. Well, morning everyone. Sunday morning, I'm up, showered and had me breakfast. Quite a late night last night, got back to the van shade after midnight. Slept pretty well though. And yeah, what a lovely sunny morning to wake up to here in South Wales. And for those of you following the wild camping updates, we now have 37 watts coming in through the solar panel. Well, 37 watt is quite a difference from the 3 watt we were getting the other day, so I guess that's the difference between a lovely sunny day like this and a slightly overcast day, but we still seem to have plenty in the batteries. Well, much as I'd love to hang around here in the sunshine, there's an awful lot to do at home, not least fixing that Triumph Street triple, so I'm going to square away here and then get on the road back homewards. So hope you've enjoyed coming along with me on this brief Welsh trip, and I'll see you again very soon in the next video.